Hello parade watchers and welcome to another history video. Today we'll be talking about a beloved moose and a squirrel during the time of their past. The J Moose Bullwinkle, and a little later his pal Rocky the Flying Squirrel, for their appearances as a giant balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Bullwinkle made his parade debut in 1961 with General Mills as his sponsor. As for his design, well, of course, it's a generic design of him wearing a bathing suit. Kinda looks weird, but he's not the first. He won't be the only one to wear something that is, well, summer clothes in the parade. Pink Panther. However, like any other balloon, there have been some accidents with this balloon, with two of them with him not being removed from the parade, and those two being 1964 and 1976. But the accident he did get removed was in 1971, that he didn't get to fly at all, and in 1982 with his nose being punctured by a lamppost. However, all for the broadcast from the 60s to 70s and the early 80s. Some of them are lost and we don't have them, unfortunately. But the ones we do have are 1976, 1981, and 1983.
Dressed only in a candy-striped bathing suit? Bullwinkle, that's who. The mighty moose is the last of the blockbuster balloons. You know, you might be interested in knowing that despite numerous requests from all over the country, the giant balloons we saw today appear only in Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. As soon as the parade ends, the balloons are deflated, packed away in boxes, and sent to Goodyear's plant in Rockmart, Georgia. So long, Bullwinkle. See you next year.
That's right, Ed. And the report came into the police station quite early this morning. The voice was excited and quivering till the words were clear enough. Somewhere near Central Park, a giant moose has been spotted wearing a bathing suit. But for New York's finest, the call didn't cause the blink of an eye. From that description, who else could it be but the big guy himself, Bullwinkle? Every Thanksgiving morning, he puts on that bathing suit of his and goes for a little morning swim. So he'll be looking fresh and nice to greet all the people along the parade route. Happy Thanksgiving to you, big boy.
I think this is probably the first time, or certainly in a long time, that you've seen it in person. Those floats are really something, aren't they?
I tell you, I can't get over how big they are and how they glide right through these between these enormous buildings, almost going into a canyon and disappearing. It's really spectacular. I just love it.
Yeah, he just made the turn at 34th Street, and those handlers have to really be on their toes to keep everything going.
It is kind of nice to be here on this Thanksgiving Day. Look who's coming behind them. Bullwinkle. Somehow the big fella didn't quite make it all the way down Broadway last year, but this morning he is leading things off as the first of the great balloons. And you know what? He's making his 23rd appearance now in the Macy's Parade. We saw him a little bit earlier. He was having problems down on Central Park West with winds that I guess are gusting up to 10 to 20 miles an hour. But right now he's making it here in a big way. Big star in every sense of the word. Dancing from Broadway's The Tap Dance Kid. Direct from England, the city of Coventry Drum Corps.
hit, a smash song by Ashford and Simpson, all coming up.
After 1983, Bullwinkle was retired, making the total of 25 appearances, if I'm correct. Like Red Underdog, who was retired the following year, it was probably because due to his age rating, since he has been in the parade for 25 years. Even the previous year, in 1982, he was in the White House in a Easter holiday at the White House for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah. After that, Bullwinkle was never seen again until 1996, when Bullwinkle finally came back, but he looks different. For the second design, he is gliding down Broadway wearing his What's the Matter You sweatshirt and a paddler hat that has the tip of the paddler actually move. And of course his pal, Rocky the Flying Squirrel. But when all the balloons and floats and bands was going to Herald Square, they showed this test flight footage or inflation of the Bullwinkle balloon. I know you don't see it, there it is. But I'm not gonna show everything because, well, I gotta get to the footage, so yeah.
And for the first time ever, with his pal Rocky the Flying Squirrel. And that's what I call a dynamic duo.
And famous two-wheeler Jay Ward's Rocky and Bullwinkle are provided by Universal Studios Consumer Products Group. At 68 feet in length, Willard, even his arch enemies Boris and Natasha would be impressed with this Bullwinkle.
Get that squirrel off my back, Katie. Bullwinkle has been called the finest example of the North American fly. As Rocky says, Bullwinkle has more brains in his little finger than he has in his whole head. Think about that, friends.
Brothers, Joey, Matthew, and Andy, plus everybody's favorite feline, Garfield the cat, when our parade continues here on NBC.
Oh yeah, and I almost forgot that Bullwinkle was also named Macy's Holiday Ambassador of 1996. After the comeback of Bullwinkle and the debut of Rocky, they somewhat just decided to retire them during the debut. But just 3 years later, until 1999, when they was finally brought back by Universal Studios as their sponsors to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Rocky and Bullwinkle show and to promote the live-action movie Rocky and The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, set to be released in the summer of 2000. The only thing they had to do is expand the handlers and add to the Trinity video goes to help control the balloon. Since the new rules happened the previous year.
Jay Ward Bullwinkle gives a moosey back ride to his flying friend Rocky J. Squirrel as they celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Rocky and Bullwinkle show, and they're furnished by Universal Studios, and they are classic.
Moosey back ride.
Like it?
Yeah. And next summer, Bullwinkle will make his silver screen debut in the live-action animated motion picture, The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Our dynamic duo will definitely need some handlers if they're going Hollywood. Right now, they've got 50. In fact, there are 1,000 Macy's employees just handling the balloons in today's parade.
You know where Bullwinkle went to college, don't you? Oh, yeah. What's the matter? Exactly. They're proud of him there. I think his pal Rocky said it best. Bullwinkle has more brains in his little finger than he has in his whole head.
Waukesha, Wisconsin's North Star Band as they march south on...
In 2000, just to promote the home media release of The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, the movie, However, Wonky got deflated during preparation. I guess it was a cold parade, so I guess Bullwinkle only had to go by himself.
A good American, a true patriot, and not know this guy? I think not. Flying down Broadway on an antler and a prayer, more daring than Siegfried and Roy, funnier than McNeil Laird. Knew they were funnier? Yes, folks, it's the pride of Frostbite Falls, Minnesota, Bullwinkle J. Moose, furnished by Universal Studios.
Even his arch enemies, Boris and Natasha, have to be impressed with this guy. He is taller, Al, than 2 telephone poles.
That's tall. Once again this year, the Mighty Moose's sweatshirt proudly displays his alma mater, Wasamata U. But lest we forget, guys, this nut happens to be a graduate of MIT. You know MIT.
Yeah.
The Moose Institute of Toe Dancing.
And by the way, to those who think he's just a doofy old moose, Bullwinkle points out he's the finest example of the great North American clod.
After 2000, they was officially retired, making the mandatory appearance of 3. But it wasn't over for them, since in the following year, in 2001, there was this, well, if I could call it a museum or whatever it is. So all the balloons, past and present, and Rocky and Bullwinkle was also there, along with Bonnie the dinosaur, Jimmy Neutron, Pikachu, Wild Thing, Cassie, Millennium Snoopy, and the head of Woody Woodpecker. So in total, if you count both of the balloons, Bullwinkle has made a mandatory appearance of 28 appearances in the parade. But with just Rocky, he only made 2 appearances. But if you count 2000, that's 3. Even though he was deflated that year. So it's time to let go with Bullwinkle and Rocky to go to Hollywood. Well, that was back in 2000, but yeah. It's time to talk about a character, this next character. So this is the 9th episode, and the next one's going to be the 10th. So to do with this 10th episode, I'm going to make it a special one. We're going to talk about the most infamous character in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade history. And that is a cat who wears a hat.